Exciting times, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it's Ball of Numbers 15. That's right, every single day since, I guess, when was it? The 14th, I think, of December. I've been talking about numbers on the dartboard, and we're going to cover every single number all the way up to ball. That's 21 episodes, and I am beyond enthusiastic about today because I've always liked the number 15 on the dartboard. And let's talk about, first of all, its position on the dartboard. Well, on one side of it is the 10, and on the other side of it is the 2. So there's possibilities when going for treble 15 that you could hit a treble 2 or a treble 10. And we talked, didn't we, about the number of times that treble 2 gets hit during a game of proper darts with a proper professional playing 501. And the answer is not very often, because no one would go for it deliberately. But that is maybe one scenario when it could get hit accidentally when going for treble 15. So let's talk about this lovely number 15, shall we? And talk about the singles. How would you use it in the singles? Well, if you're on 55, the pro would go 15 and double 20. I think that's probably the time it mostly gets used. I think if you're on 41, 15 and 26, is that right? Would that be 15 and double 13? I don't know what necessarily you go for that. And again, 35, 15, double 10. I don't think a pro will go for that. A pro would generally go for the 3 or the 19 to leave either double 16 or double 8. 45, again, you never see anyone go 15, double 15. I mean, you do in a pub sometimes, but we're not in a pub, are we? We're trying to discuss, aren't we? I'm not. We're trying to discuss the way people play, professionals play in the proper game. 47, that's the way I would say that 15 often gets used, as well as 55. 47, 15 for double 16. It gets used a lot. Probably the most it appears being hit. Probably the 2 times that it gets hit the most during a proper 501 game with a pro are 55, 15, double 20 and 47, 15, double 16. What about 39, I hear you say? 15, double 12. You don't really see it happen. You don't really see it happen. I don't do it. Why would you? You might hit the 2, you might hit the 10. Then everything goes south. You're better off on 39, throwing for the bottom of the 3 or the 19, and you end up on double 18 or double 10. 31, 15 for double 8. I would say sometimes that happens. That does sometimes happen. The pro wants to get round, always trying to get back round to that little run of the 16, the 8 and the 4 and the 2. That run down in the even numbers, that's where people like to go. 23, 15 for double 4. Again, I have not seen it happen very much. Okay, let's talk about the doubles. I don't think I've shared this with you yet, which is unusual, because it's one of the greatest moments in my darting life, really, was to meet my great hero, Eric Bristow. I was told that I could meet him at the PDC event, and I went along, and they said, he's outside having a cigarette. So I went out into the car park, and there he was, the other end of the car park, having a cigarette, and I'd never met him before. And from one end of the car park to the other, he sort of was walking towards me, and I did the you are not worthy, not you are not worthy, I am not worthy. I don't know how I could have done you are not worthy. I was sort of, bowed to him because he was always my hero playing darts. And I said to him, when I get into chat to him, I said, one of the first things I asked him, and this is why this is relevant to do with 15, I said, how would you finish 90? Now, this was a question I thought was a good question, because I never was really too sure what would the pro do for 90. And he said, quick as a flash, he said the pro would go treble 20 for double 15. Now, interestingly, that may be because he's from a slightly different era, because you don't actually see that happening that much now. I think the pros now would probably go for the bull to leave double top. Probably they would, and if they hit the 25, of course, then they're on 65. Maybe they go for another outer bull. Or maybe they go for a 15 for the bull. But you don't often see people, pros, going for treble 20 for double 15. Yeah, that's just one of those things, isn't it? Yeah. The other time, of course, I'll come to this other finish I was looking at here. In fact, no, I'll mention it now. 150. That is probably one of the times, again, that a pro would deliberately leave themselves double 15. And you do see this sometimes happen with the larger finishes, where it's easier to throw your dart where you've just thrown the last one. So if you throw treble 20, you're on 150, throw treble 20. Yes, you're on 90. It might make sense to move round to the 18, to go treble 18, to leave double 18. But actually, if you stay where you are, you may have a better chance of just throwing another treble 20, and then you're leaving yourself on double 15. Now, one of the other things I said to Eric Bristow when I met him was he was showing me spotting. I don't know whether you're aware of spotting. He actually did some of it himself, and so does Keith. I think Keith Delamay still do it, actually. And that's when they sit in this trailer around the back somewhere of the PDC, and they tell the cameraman where to point the camera, because they know the routes these players are taking. He's going to go for treble 14, go double 19, because you can't expect someone to be good at filming things on a camera and good at darts. That's a Venn diagram that doesn't exist, really. Well, it could do, but in this instance, they've got about, I don't know how many cameramen they've got. Sorry, the reason I made that noise was I stood up and then I sat down again. No. So the fact is, I'm enjoying myself today. I really am, because you know what, I sense that there's going to be some more guests on this wonderful journey we're on together, and also we're getting a little bit nearer 21, and there's going to be some guests along the way. I just know it, and some wonderful surprises. That I call them surprises because even I'm not currently aware of what they are. But I said to Bristow, when he was showing me the spotting trailer, I said, "How do you hold your dart then?" And I picked up a pen, and he picks it up, and he held the pen because he didn't have his darts with him. This is recent. He wasn't playing darts anymore. And he said, "I hold the dart like that." And he picked up the pen and he held it. And I said, that's weird, actually. That's exactly the way I hold it. Which was just about one of the most stupid things I could have said. Because, of course, I held it the same as him. I copied him, didn't I? I copied his... Anyway, the reason I asked him is because I'd had this theory that most pros have one finger that actually touches the point of the dart as opposed to the fat barrel. It actually... a good darts nickname, that would be. Here comes Fat Barrel. So there we are. So that was a great thrill meeting Bristow. Let's get on to and I got to play him as well, but I won't go into that now. Trebles. Treble 15, 85, treble 15, double 20, 77, rarely done, but I think it would be a neat thing to do, treble 15, double 16, 81, again, not done as much as it used to be done. Treble 15 for double 18. Most people really will now go treble 19 for double 12. And then the higher shots, the 141, treble 20, treble 15, double 18. But most people, when on 141, go treble 20, treble 19, double 12. Taking that route that way. Of course, I know we mentioned this before, but the first ever televised darter by John Lowe, he was on 141 and he went treble 17, treble 18, double 18. 145 is the old classic sandwich, the treble 20, double 20 sandwich, treble 20, and then you stick your 45 in the middle there, treble 15, and then double 20. And that, my friends, is 15. And I've had a fantastic time talking about it. And tomorrow it's 16. And let's see if I can find a guest for you. I haven't got one yet, but there's always time. That's the end of this episode. Have a lovely night.